Hello, my name is Laura, and today we're going to be doing a Vinyasa Flow, focusing on opening the hips and the heart, also working into the hamstrings. So just find a comfortable seat. Shoulders back and down, sitting up nice and tall, lifting up through the crown. And I'm going to invite you to just close your eyes and just take a moment to take a few deep breaths. So nice deep breaths filling up the front of the body. And on your exhale, lengthening that time to exhale as you feel yourself thinking and connecting with the earth. And again, try and make the breath bigger on the way in and longer on the way out. I want you to take a moment to just think of anything that you've brought to the mat today which doesn't serve you. Maybe any worries, any stress, any tension, anything that concerns you. I'm going to take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, open your mouth and sigh them away. I'm going to do that 2 more times. And keeping the breaths nice and deep. Maybe take this time to set an intention for your practice today. Maybe to be kind to yourself so you can be kind to others. Or maybe set a mantra that you can repeat to yourself through your practice today. Maybe, I am loved, I am strong, I am awake. And keep that with you. I invite you to just open your eyes, keeping a soft gaze. We're going to take a deep breath in. And exhale, hands to heart center. And again, deep breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we're going to take the left arm around behind us. And taking your right hand onto the left knee. Take a deep breath in. Lifting up and exhale. And twist, looking over the left shoulder. Keep a nice deep breath. And now taking that back hand round across onto the opposite knee, take a deep breath in. And exhale, opening up the back body. And we're going to deep breath in. And just releasing the hands. Taking now the right hand round behind us. Left hand onto the right knee. Deep breath in as we lift up. And exhale as we twist. Looking over the shoulder. Just being mindful of any discomfort in the neck or any problems with the neck. Keeping the breath nice and deep. Now bringing that right hand around onto the opposite knee, taking a deep breath in. And exhale again, just opening up the back body. Breath in, releasing the hands, take another deep breath in. And we're going to take the left hand down to the floor and lean over. You've got a nice stretch in the right side body. As you breathe in, fill space into that side, opening the side up. On your next inhale, coming up. And exhale, other side. Again, opening up into the side body, nice deep breaths. And release the hand down, take another big breath in. And exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to find our way to tabletop. I'll meet you there. Just coming up. And just finding a nice comfortable position with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Make sure your joints are stacked. Making sure also that your feet are directly behind your knees. And also spreading your fingers out so we're using the whole hand to connect to the earth. Here we're going to take some cat-cows. So we're going to open up the front body, lifting the chin on our inhale, and on our exhale, lifting up, opening the back body. I'm going to do a few rounds. One more time. And come to a nice position in center. Just make sure you're not collapsing into the shoulders, keeping the shoulders lifted, pushing up through the shoulders. And we're going to take a little rock forward and back. Inhaling as we come forward, exhaling as we come back. Just be mindful that we're just warming up the wrists at the moment, so gentle on that forward. Also warming up the hips and the knees, and using the top of the feet to stabilize. This time as we go back, we're going to sit all the way back, bringing the toes together into our child's pose. You may want to take the knees wide to work more into the hips. And we're going to come down now, forehead on the mat. You may want to rock the forehead side to side. Just massaging our third eye chakra, which is situated just above the brow line in the middle of the forehead. Bringing that up slightly, we're going to take the hands off to the left side of the mat. Taking your right hand on top of your left, and then sitting back down into your child's pose. A nice stretch now in the right side body. Keeping the breath nice and deep. And coming back through center. Off to the other side. Left hand on top of right and coming down. And coming back through center, coming back to our tabletop, bringing the knees back in and the feet out so they're behind the knees. We're just going to have that little rock forward and back again. Inhale as we come forward, exhale as we come back. Maybe taking that a little further now. Next time we come back, we're going to have the toes tucked under, and we're going to come back into our downward facing dog. That's our first downward dog, so just take some time to just pedal through the legs and settle here comfortably, making space around the neck, so shoulders back and down, width in the upper back, and turning the inner elbows towards the top of the mat, lifting the tailbone high and pulling your lower abdominals in and up. Now we'll bring the legs to a nice still position. And we're going to take a deep bend into the right knee now and drop the right hip as we look underneath the left elbow, left armpit. You may find you can take the left heel a little further down now. Keeping the breath nice and deep. And going back through center, same on the other side. Left knee bends, drop the left hip and look underneath the right armpit. Make sure the weight's still evenly distributed through both hands, pushing through the whole hand. And coming back through center. Now I'm going to walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Feel free to bend into the knees there if that works best for you. I'm going to step forward just so you can see me easier, but we're going to fold here now. Now take as much bend again in the knee as it's right for you. Lowering the torso onto the thighs and then working to straighten the legs from there. We're going to take a big breath in as we come all the way up. Exhale, hands through the heart center, all the way down as we take a big dive down, big bend into the knees and fold. Now we're going to just take some time here to just let gravity make space in the spine. Maybe a little sway side to side, nod the head, shake the head no. Keeping the breath nice and deep, releasing any tension in the face, in the brows, just letting it go. And we're going to take a halfway lift, hands onto the shins and lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center, all the way down. Halfway lift. And fold. I'm going to walk the hands out again. Back to our down dog. And just settle back into the position there. Again, just being mindful of space around the neck. Being gentle to your joints. Pulling the abdominals in. And on your next inhale, we're going to take the right leg high. We're going to take a bend into that knee and open up the hips. So the hips are open now to the right side as we're stacking the hips. Making sure the weight's still even between the two hands. An option here if you want to flip that over into Wild Thing. Lifting the hips high, turning the little finger down towards the floor. Feel that nice long line of energy now from the foot all the way through to the fingertips. Lifting the hips. We're going to bring the hand down first and the eyes before we then come back to that three-legged down dog. We're now going to bring that knee in. We're going to bring it into the tricep on the exhale. Inhale back. Into the nose. Inhale back. Exhale to the opposite tricep. Inhale back. And this time as we bring the leg in, exhaling as we place the foot outside of the right hand. We're going to take the back knee down, untuck the toes, and just settle for a minute in our lizard pose. Now if you have props and you want to use them, this may be a time when you want to bring the earth a little bit closer to you. If you need to come up a little bit higher, then please do. Or you may want to take this opportunity to give your wrists a little rest. And you can come onto your forearms at whatever level with your block. Just rotate into the wrists and give them a little rest. But wherever is comfortable for you, just taking a moment here. Focusing back on your breath and also just reminding yourself of your intention or mantra today. And maybe taking the knee out to the side a little, rolling onto the edge of the foot on the right side. Now placing the hands down. If you have used a block, we're just going to move the block out of the way. And we're going to put a bend into the back leg and reach the arm round to find the toes and stretch it. Now gently releasing that back leg, planting the hands down, tucking the toes under and lifting the knee. We're going to step the leg back and come back to our down dog. Again, you may want to just pedal through the legs. Just taking some time here. Focusing again on your breathing. And finding a place of stillness when you're ready. On your next inhale, taking the left leg up. Putting the bend into the knee and opening up the hips to the left. Then just focusing on keeping that weight evenly distributed between both hands, pushing through the knuckles, through the fingers. An option, if you're wanting it, to come down into your Wild Thing. Again, that nice long line of energy from the foot all the way to the fingertips, lifting the hips and pushing through the whole hand on the bottom arm. You're taking the hand down and the gaze first, and then taking the leg high. As we exhale, we bring the knee to the tricep. Inhale back, exhale to the nose. Inhale back to the opposite tricep. And this time planting the foot on the outside of the left hand. Taking the back knee down, untucking the toes, coming into lizard on the second side. Again, options with the blocks. Wherever you want to be, your option to have a little rest of the wrist there. And also just be mindful that both sides of the body can be quite different to each other. So where you may be on one side may be quite different to where you are on the other side. Just be kind to yourself. Taking a few breaths here. Again, just doing a quick check top to toe for any tension you may be holding. And just taking this chance to release that tension and focus on your breath. Maybe sending the breath to the sensation. And maybe rolling the leg out a little now, the knee out and rolling onto the side of the left foot. Now if you have used blocks, I'll take this opportunity to just take the block out. I'm going to bend into the back leg, bringing the toes up, reaching back for the toes and looking over the shoulder. And gently releasing and letting the foot down, planting both hands down, pushing through the whole hand, tucking the toes, lifting the knee, big step back to our down dog. Now take a moment here, breathe. And we're going to take a nice gentle vinyasa together. So we're going to take our time, moving the body weight forward into our high plank. Again, making sure we're not collapsing into the shoulders, keeping it nice and strong and keeping the muscles engaged. We're going to take the knees down to the mat and we're going to slowly lower down onto the belly. And we're going to inhale as we lift up and lengthen, feeling the lower back muscles engage. And exhale, coming down. We're going to stay here. Get an option maybe just to roll the forehead if you want to. On the next inhale, coming up again, your cobra. At this time, maybe taking the hands off the floor. You can use the top of the feet to stabilize. Keep breathing, shoulders back and down. And exhale. Now taking the hands to the outside of the mat, making a cup with the fingers, elbows to the sky. We're going to come up a little bit higher this time, taking a breath in. And on our exhale, we're going to drop the right cheek and shoulder down to the mat. Back through center, inhale. And exhale, left cheek and shoulder down. Inhale back. Exhale to the mat. We're going to bring the hands back into the chest, where we started. Keeping the shoulders back and down, we're going to push back onto the knees, tuck the toes, and come back up to our down dog. Now on our next inhale, taking the right leg high and stepping through between the hands, we're going to take the back knee down, untuck the toes or keep them tucked, whichever works best for you. And we're going to come up into our low lunge. Now take this time to just make sure that your pelvis is nice and square to the front of your mat. You may need to pull back your right hip crease. Now we're going to open out to the right side, getting a twist. On your next inhale, we're going to take that back, taking the right hand down the back of the left leg. And then exhale, windmilling the hands down. And then we're going to pull back, taking a foot forward into our half splits. Again, this is a good place to use blocks if you want to. An option to bring the earth a little bit closer to you on whatever setting you want them. Okay? Or just with your hands, whatever is working for you today. We're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to lift and lengthen and exhale, fold. Breathe here, checking in again with any tension you're holding. And coming up, I'm going to take the hands further forward, bend into the front knee, tuck the toes, lift the back knee, and we're going to pop that back foot down at 45 degrees, keeping the pelvis square to the top of the mat and coming up into our warrior one. Now bending into the front leg, shoulders away from your ears, so width in the upper back, nice deep breaths and pull in your abdominals. Take a nice deep breath in, and on exhale we're going to cactus the arms for a little back bend. Inhale up, exhale cactus, inhale up, exhale cactus, all the way up, and now straightening excuse my balance, straightening the front leg. We're going to shorten the stance slightly, and we're going to fold into our pyramid pose. Again, just making sure that the pelvis is square to the front of the mat, so pulling the right hip crease back, softening in the upper body, relaxing down into the stretch. Again, a great opportunity to use the blocks to bring the earth closer to you. Taking a moment here, nice deep breaths. I'm going to take a bend into that front leg, taking the hands a little bit further forward, and we're going to come up into our standing L. Imagine a wall behind you, and that you're standing on that wall. It's giving you strength and stability. A little micro bend in the front knee to support the joint. Now bringing that leg in to meet the other leg, bending both knees, coming all the way up. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Take a moment here. And all the way up. Hands through heart center. All the way down. Halfway lift. And fold. I'm going to step the legs back, 1 and 2, and we're going to take a Vinyasa. So, taking the knees down, lowering the belly to the mat. Inhale as we lift. Exhale as we come back to the mat, tuck the toes and push back onto the knees and all the way back to our down dog. And taking a moment here to take a breath. Now on your next inhale, we're going to take the left leg high. Big step through the hands, popping the back knee down, untucking the toes if it's more comfortable for you, and coming up into our low lunge. Taking a moment here again, just making sure that our pelvis is square to the top of the mat, maybe pulling that left hip crease back a little, softening the shoulders back and down, keeping the width in the upper back, and using that flat of the back foot to support you. On your next exhale, I'm going to turn to the left, opening up for a twist, making sure the palms are facing out. And on your next inhale, we're going to take that back, hand down the back of the back leg, reaching up, and windmill the hands down. And we're going to pull back into our half splits. Again, making sure that we're nice and neutral with the pelvis, And again, blocks if you're wanting to use them. We're going to take a halfway lift. So lengthening and then fold. Send the breath to the sensation. But if you have a tendency to hyperextend in the knees, then just be mindful to keep a little micro bend in that front knee to protect the knee joint. And bring the hands forward, bending into that front leg. Hands by the foot, tucking the toes, bringing the knee up. We're going to pop that back foot down at 45 degrees and we're going to come up into our warrior one on an inhale. Now checking that hip again is straight and square. So again, you may need to just pull back the hip crease on the left side. Nice deep breaths. Feather the toes so they're using the ground to support you as well. And on your next exhale, we're going to cactus the arms. Then inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale up. As we shorten our stance, straighten the front leg and come down into our pyramid pose. Again, a good option with your blocks to bring the earth closer to you. Just also check in with the pelvis, making sure it's still square to the mat, the front of your mat, pulling back your left hip crease. Softening into the fold. Again, being mindful of the front knee, not to hyperextend. Little micro bend in that knee to give it some support. If you are using the block, you can use the block when we go into our standing L by bending into the front leg, taking the block with you, ready for your standing L. So flexing the back foot, softening down, folding the body, and again, micro bend in the front knee. Imagine that wall behind you. Now bending the supporting knee, bringing the leg in, coming all the way up. Hands through heart center, all the way down, big deep bend in the knees, and fold. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. All the way up, coming all the way down. Halfway lift, exhale, fold. Take a moment here. Now placing the hands, we're going to step the feet back. 1 and 2 into our high plank and take our Vinyasa. If you want to and you're able to, it's in your practice to do so, then feel free to take a full Vinyasa. Down to our Chaturanga, up dog and back over the feet to our down dog. Taking a breath here. At any point when we take a Vinyasa, please feel free to just hang out in tabletop or child's pose. Don't feel you need to take every Vinyasa if it doesn't serve you today. Now on your next inhale, we're going to take the right leg high, step the right leg through, and we're going to place the back foot down at 45 degrees again, this time coming up into our warrior two. So bending into the front knee, stacking the knee over the ankle, and pushing into the side of the back foot. Palms flat, shoulders back and down, width in the upper back, and taking your gaze over your middle finger of your front arm. We're going to take an inhale and flip the hand as we reverse our warrior. And exhale, elbow to thigh, sweeping the arm long for our extended side angle. There are options here if it's in your practice to do so, or if you want to try something more adventurous today. You can take the bottom arm out, or you can take the arms outside of the front leg and come down to the floor, Or if you're working on binds, or if you're wanting to work on binds, you can take that top arm round behind you, bringing it round to the side. And if you're taking a bind, taking the arm underneath the right hand, linking the fingers together and opening up the chest to the sky. Keep the breaths nice and deep. If you have taken the bind, release the fingers now. We're going to come back up to our warrior two. And then we're going to bring our feet round to 45 degrees into our goddess pose. A little rock side to side. And we're going to bring that forward and keep it still in the middle. And we're going to drop the right shoulder down, pushing into the inner thigh so we get a nice twist. Through the center on an inhale, and exhale, stretch on the other side. Inhale through the middle, bring the upper body up. We're going to parallel the feet now. Take a deep inhale, arms up. Exhale, taking the arms round behind you and lacing the fingers together. Take an inhale, lifting the heart to the sky, and exhale as we fold. Now, things to be mindful here, little micro bend in the knees to protect the knee joints. Also, just make sure that you're lifting the shoulders, not hyperextending. The shoulders shouldn't drop forward. So keeping that engaged. And also make sure that your weight is evenly distributed through your feet. You shouldn't be feeling all the weight in your heels. And nice deep breaths here again. Just check in with any tension that you're holding and shouldn't be holding. So relax the jaw, relax your brows, and breathe. Again, just checking in with your intention today. Now we're going to lower the arms now onto the body. Bend into the elbows to allow you to do that. Release the hands and bring them down to the floor. And to increase the stretch, you may want to just walk the hands back, so closer to between the feet. You can do it with the hands facing the other way, whichever you prefer. But again, just making sure the weight's even on the feet. Now we're going to take the hands and walk them over to our left foot, turning that left foot 45 degrees. Lifting the right foot off the floor as we come into our Skandasana. Now that may be here for you, that's absolutely fine. Obviously you may want blocks and come to here, wherever is comfortable for you. Or if it's in your practice, you may want to come down, all the way down to hands to heart center. Take a moment here. And hands down. Walking the hands all the way back around to the top of your mat. Taking that step back. Pedaling out the legs. And then the option to take another vinyasa. So bringing the weight forward. Onto the knees if you prefer, up to you. And we're all meeting back in our down dog. On your next inhale, taking the left leg high. And exhale, stepping through the hands. Popping the back foot down to 45 degrees as we windmill the arms up into warrior two on the other side. Again, just checking that position, making sure the knee is not rolling in, making sure it's in line with the ankle and over the toes. Looking over the middle finger on the front hand with a soft gaze. We're going to take a deep breath in as we flip the hand and reverse our warrior. And exhale into our extended side angle, sweeping the arm up by the ear. So rooting down through the whole foot. And again, your options here, here, here. Or if you want to take the bind, taking the arm around behind you, maybe just here, just to work towards the bind. Or if you want to take the full bind, taking the arm underneath the left leg, linking the fingers together and opening the chest. Heart to the sky. Keeping a breath. If you've taken the bind, release the fingers. And we're all going to come up, back to our warrior two. And we're going to just keep both feet now 45 degrees, straightening to the side of our mat into our goddess pose on the other side, just rocking side to side. And again, finding stillness in the middle, leaning over, and again, going into our nice twist here, dropping the left shoulder first. Inhale through center, and exhale, right shoulder. Inhale through center, sitting up. Take a deep breath in as we parallel our feet. And exhale as we link the hands behind us. This time with the opposite thumb on top. So changing that lacing of the hands. As we breathe in, we open the heart to the sky. And exhale as we fold. Again, mindful of the knee joints, little micro bend in the knees. Weight in the whole foot, not just in the heel. And lift your shoulders towards the sky. So not letting that hyperextension happen in the shoulder. Breathing here. Now a soft bend in the elbows as we lower the arms onto the body. Release the finger lacing and take the hands down to the floor. You may want to walk the hands closer to between the feet. Again, you may want to do it with the hands the other way. But just be mindful that the weight doesn't go into the heel. Yeah, it should be in the whole foot, not just the heel. Now I'm going to walk the hands to the right foot, which we're going to turn 45 degrees as we come into our Skandasana on the other side, lifting the left toes. It may be just here is fine. You may come all the way down. You may find it's quite different on one side to the other. So just be mindful of that. And again, just be kind to yourself. Keeping that heel down. And we're going to walk the hands back to the top of the mat. Step back into our down dog. Take a breath here. Moving forward into our plank, taking our last vinyasa of our practice today. If you're wanting it to be a low one, bringing the knees down wherever you want it to be. Exhale as we come down, inhale as we come up, exhale as we push back. And breathe. On your next inhale, taking the right leg high and bringing the knee forward to your wrist on the right side and taking the foot out off to the left. We're going to take that back leg down as we come into a pigeon pose. Now, some of you may find that you can get the leg much more parallel to the top of the mat. This is as far as mine will go. So just be mindful that we're all made differently. So wherever is comfortable for you today is absolutely fine. You may want to use blocks. We're bringing our practice down a little bit now. So we're going to have a little rest in this position. You might want to rest here. You might want to come down onto your forearms. You may not want the blocks at all. You might want to come all the way down. If you are finding that your right hip wants to find its way down to the floor, you can use a block underneath the right hip, just underneath the hip, just to help give you some support. Otherwise, just relax down here and breathe into the sensation. Maybe rocking the forehead again, massaging our third eye chakra. Releasing tension you're holding anywhere else. And when you're ready, we're going to push up. Palms into the floor, spreading the fingers, tucking the back toes, lifting the knee, taking the leg back up and down into our down dog. And we're going to go on the other side. So taking a deep breath in, left leg high, stepping that leg through with the knee to the left wrist this time. And again, you may find one side is quite different to the other. You might find the leg is now more parallel to the top of the mat or less so. But wherever is right for you, it's absolutely fine. Again, using your blocks if you want to, but finding your way down into a nice comfortable position. Just to show you on this side where you can see a little bit better, if you do want to put a block underneath the hip on the left side, if you're finding the hip is sinking, that can be quite nice to support the hip in that way. Otherwise, just resting down and again, just taking the time to breathe. Maybe that little rock in the forehead helps you soften into the pose. Nice deep breaths, send them to the sensation that you're feeling. Releasing any tension. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders, relax the glutes. And pushing up. We're just going to rock onto the hip now. Swing your legs around in front of you. And we're going to just come around to the other side. Arms out in front and slowly lower down onto the mat, taking your time. All the way down. And resting here. And then bringing your knees into the chest. And hug your knees as if you were hugging someone you love dearly. Little rock side to side, massaging the lower back. I'm going to take a little gap between the knees and take the hands through to grab hold of either the ankles, maybe the feet, maybe the shins, wherever is right for you, and lifting the feet and pulling down for our happy baby pose. Again, little rock side to side. Keeping the breath nice and deep. Now bringing the back knees back in together, hugging them both. We're going to release the left leg, foot on the floor, and take the right foot, right ankle onto the left thigh. And this may be enough for you, that's absolutely fine, or if you want to, you can reach through, holding behind the left leg. Or our figure four stretch. And release. And take that top leg down. left leg over this time. And again, here, if that's enough for you, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, if you want to, you may like to bring the leg up, holding behind the right thigh. Again, breathing into the sensation. And releasing the leg down. Now taking your feet mat width apart, we're just going to windshield wiper the legs from one side to the other. Take your time. And bring the arms up to cactus. And next time the knees fall to the right, we're going to let them stay there and just let them fall all the way down to the floor. Try and keep your left shoulder on the floor. If you want to extend the stretch, you can take your right ankle onto the left thigh and then relax down again from there. Nice deep breaths. Now releasing the top leg, bringing the knees back up, windshield wiper them a couple more times. Next time they fall to the left, we're going to let them relax all the way down, keeping the right shoulder on the floor. Again, option to take the left foot onto the right thigh and relax here. And releasing the top leg, bringing the knees back to center. We're going to bring the knees in for one last hug. Nice deep breaths. As you exhale, take the legs long. Gap between the legs as much as it's comfortable for you. Take a second to just wrap your shoulder blades underneath the chest, underneath the heart, opening the chest up, palms to the sky. Again, arms out wherever it feels most relaxed for you. And then do a quick check down the body from top to toe, releasing any tension and relaxing your face, jaw, neck, shoulders, arms, hands. Releasing your abs, your glutes. Relax your legs and let your feet just fall to the side. We're going to take one last deep breath together. And exhale, Shavasana. Just ease off the control on your breathing now as you just take this time to let go. Maybe just remind yourself of your intention in your practice today. And take this time to focus on your breath. Staying in Shavasana for a few minutes, and I will talk you out of Shavasana in a few minutes' time. And relax. When you're ready, start to deepen your breath. And we're going to get some movement back into the body now. Rubbing your thumb against your fingertips, wiggling your toes. Take a bend into the knees, feet flat on the mat. And then roll over onto whichever side you feel will support you the most today. Taking your bottom arm out underneath the head as a pillow. Take a moment here in the fetal position. And when you're ready, gently, slowly taking your time and coming up to a comfortable seat. And bringing your hands to heart center. Thank you for taking this time for yourself today. Nice deep breath. Namaste.